The Art and Power of Persuasion. Introduction. Have you ever wondered why some people seem effortlessly persuasive? Why some individuals can walk into a room and immediately command attention, while others struggle just to be heard? Why some people consistently make things happen, closing deals, earning respect, moving others to action, while equally intelligent, hard-working people feel ignored or overlooked? Is it charisma? Is it intelligence? Is it luck? Or are some people simply born with a special gift? The answer is no. No, no, and no. Persuasion is not a personality trait. It is not reserved for extroverts, salespeople, or natural leaders. Persuasion is an art, and like any art, it can be learned. When you understand persuasion, you gain the ability to influence outcomes in ethical, constructive ways. You can sell more, negotiate better pay, secure opportunities, strengthen relationships, and advocate for yourself and others effectively. Most importantly, persuasion gives you a competitive edge. In a world filled with noise, the persuasive voice rises above the rest. But persuasion is not manipulation. Manipulation seeks to win at someone else's expense. Persuasion seeks a win-win, helping you get what you want while also helping others get what they want. So let's explore how persuasion actually works. Chapter 1. Focus on them, not you. At its core, persuasion is not about you. It's about the other person. People are constantly thinking about their own needs, fears, desires, and struggles. If you want to persuade someone, you must enter their world before inviting them into yours. Ask yourself, what do they want? What are they afraid of? What problems are they trying to solve? What dreams matter most to them? When you speak directly to someone's needs, using their language, their priorities, you instantly become more persuasive. Persuasion begins not with your request, but with your understanding. Chapter 2. Communicate clearly. Clarity is persuasion's foundation. If you can't explain your idea simply, you can't persuade anyone to act on it. You should be able to communicate your argument so clearly that a 7th grader could understand it. That means knowing exactly what you're asking for, why it matters, how it benefits both parties. Preparation is essential. The more prepared you are, the clearer, calmer, and more compelling you'll sound. Confusion kills persuasion. Chapter 3. Start small. Persuasion works best when agreement builds gradually. Research shows that once people agree with you on small points, they become more open to larger ones. Instead of leading with your biggest request, start with shared ground, ideas you know they already accept. Get them nodding early. Agreement creates momentum. Disagreement creates resistance. Start small. Build trust first. Chapter 4. Be authentic. Nothing shuts persuasion down faster than inauthenticity. People can sense when you're putting on a performance. You care more about winning than understanding you have hidden motives. Authenticity builds trust, and trust opens minds. You don't need to be perfect, you need to be real. When people feel you're honest and human, they're far more likely to listen. Authenticity always persuades more effectively than polish. Chapter 5. Use reciprocity. Reciprocity is one of the most powerful persuasion tools. When someone receives value from you, they naturally feel inclined to give something back. That value doesn't have to be material. It can be a thoughtful compliment, genuine help, useful information, time and attention. Persuasion works best when it feels generous, not transactional. Give first. Influence follows. Chapter 6. Use effective patterns of speech. How you speak matters as much as what you say. If someone is resistant or skeptical, speaking slightly faster can make it harder for them to formulate counter-arguments. If someone is already inclined to agree, slowing down allows them to process and internalize your message. Persuasion adapts to the moment. Chapter 7. Create scarcity. People value what feels limited. Scarcity creates urgency. It triggers fear of missing out. This can be done by limiting availability, adding deadlines, highlighting what's lost by inaction. Scarcity isn't about pressure. It's about helping people recognize opportunity before it passes. Chapter 8. Be very confident. Confidence persuades more than expertise. People respond emotionally first, logically second. If you speak with conviction, others assume you know what you're talking about. Avoid hedging language like, "I think, maybe, I'm not sure," but speak boldly. Confidence signals certainty, and certainty attracts agreement. Chapter 9. Paint a vivid picture. Facts inform, but stories persuade. Instead of listing benefits, show people what life looks like after they say yes. Help them feel the relief, success, or improvement your solution brings. Emotion moves people. Logic justifies the decision afterward. Chapter 10. Consider how your audience processes information. Not everyone thinks the same way. Some people decide quickly, others need time. Some process verbally, others internally. Persuasion requires flexibility. Know when to press forward and when to step back. Matching your approach to their decision style increases trust and reduces resistance. Chapter 11. Acknowledge and overcome. Objections. Objections are not obstacles, they're opportunities. When you acknowledge concerns openly, you show understanding and respect. Address objections directly instead of avoiding them. People trust those who don't pretend. Issues don't exist. Meeting resistance head-on builds credibility. Chapter 12. Speak in positives. Positive framing is more persuasive than negative framing. Instead of focusing on what will stop being bad, emphasize what will become good. People don't like feeling pressured or guilted. They want to feel inspired. Paint the picture of improvement, growth, and possibility. Chapter 13. Match body language. Communication isn't just verbal. Mirroring posture, tone, and energy builds subconscious rapport. When people feel physically at ease with you, they're more open to your ideas. Connection precedes persuasion. Chapter 14. Notice what matters most. Listen for repeated words and themes. When people tell you what matters, believe them. Use their language. Reflect their priorities back to them. People are persuaded when they feel understood. Chapter 15. Demonstrate your authority. Authority builds trust. If you have experience, credentials, or expertise, share it. This isn't bragging, it's reassurance. Confidence combined with credibility is incredibly persuasive. Chapter 16. Be right. Ultimately, persuasion only works if you believe what you're saying. You can't convincingly advocate for something you know is false. Do the work, strengthen your reasoning, prepare for objections. Truth fuels confidence, and confidence persuades. Conclusion: the power of persuasion. We've covered a powerful framework. Focus on others, communicate clearly, build agreement, be authentic, give value, adapt your delivery, inspire emotionally, respect objections, demonstrate confidence and credibility. You don't need to master everything at once, but the more principles you stack, the stronger your influence becomes. Persuasion is one of the few skills that allows you to get more of what you want while helping others get more of what they want. That's why it's worth learning. When used ethically, persuasion creates opportunity, connection, and progress for everyone involved. And that is its true power.